وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُّدَّكِرٍ
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Beloved viewers, you are welcome to our program, your program Quran Made Easy, reaching you from MTA Africa. Today, we shall continue our discussion on the rules guiding the recitation of Nun Sakina and Tanween. Previously, we have mentioned two rules, al-idhar and al-idgham. So today we'll be starting from the third rule, which is al-iqlab. Al-iqlab. The word al-iqlab literally means to change, to alter something, to change something from one state to another. That is the literal meaning of al-iqlab. Technically, it means we are changing the nun sakina to mim. We are changing nun to mim, but it has to retain some properties of that nun, which is the gunna. True, we are changing the nun to mim, but we are still going to retain the gunna, which is one of the properties of the nun. For instance, in the Quran, Allah says, Mim ba'dihim. There are so many portions in the Quran, Mim ba'dihim or Mim ba'di. When you look at the way these words are written, there are two words. We have min, then we have ba'di or ba'dihim, as the case may be. Mim ba'di, it is min, then we have ba. But you don't pronounce it as min ba'di. You don't pronounce it as min ba'di. Why? The reason is the letter ba is produced by the combination, the coming together of the upper and the lower lips. So you cannot pronounce ba without you merging both upper and lower lips. Ba, 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 mim. So ba and mim, they have the same articulation points. When you want to pronounce mim too, the two lips will come together. Ba, ba, ba. Also, mim, mim. Look at the mouth. Look at the lips. Mim, mim. So both of them have the same articulation point. Now, when you are now reciting the Quran and you now come across nun sakina, in pronouncing nun ordinarily, the two lips do not come together. So, to make it easy, we change the nun sakina to that mim, which has the same articulation point as ba. Again, we change the nun sakina to mim, which has the same articulation point as ba. That's why we now read as mim ba'di. Mim, the mouth is already positioned to pronounce letter ba. The two lips have already met. So to pronounce ba, which has the same articulation point as that mim, will be very easy. Unlike when you are coming from nun to ba. So it is easy from mim to ba than from nun to ba. So that is the secret. So you recite as mim ba'di. So now, but there is a mistake that people make here. Many people know that, okay, you are going to change nun to mim, and that is iqlab, but they fail to understand that it will still retain that gunna, that nasalization sound coming from the nostril, which is one of the features of nun sakina, of nun generally. So you don't just say mim ba'di. When you say mim ba'di, there is no gunna there. So, but there has to be gunna. So how do you effect the gunna? The gunna is effected when you take your time a bit on the mim before you transit to the ba. Min ba'di, min ba'di, min ba'di. That's one thing. The second thing is that mim, when you are given this gunna to it, you will not let your two lips meet completely while pronouncing the mim. ordinarily. Ordinarily, when you are pronouncing mim, the two lips will join completely. But in this case, there will be some space between the two lips. It might not be noticeable, but the reciter himself will know that there is a space between the two lips that will give room for the ghunna to be effected. Mim, when you look at it, it is not mim ba'di, no. It is not mim ba'di, no. When you say mim ba'di, that is wrong. So that is not iqlab. Mim. So you can hear the sound. That is the ghunna that must accompany it. Because it's like we are taking something from nun. So you have to compensate that letter. That's what we are doing. So we are giving a compensation by retaining some of its properties. So the property is ghunna, that sound. So even though we are changing it to mim, so we are still retaining some of its properties. So when you now lock your lips completely, it may be difficult to effect that ghunna. So we are not changing, of course we are changing the nun to mim, but it's like we are not doing that completely. So we are still retaining the ghunna. So min ba'di ma ja'atum, not min ba'di, not min ba'di. Min ba'dihim. So that is how to effect iqlab. So iqlab has only one letter, and that is ba, no other letter. So iqlab has just ba. So idhar has 6, as we have discussed previously. Al-idgham has 6. Iqlab has just 1, which is letter ba. So anytime you come across ba, immediately after nun sakina or tanween, that is how you pronounce it. So make sure that you change the nun to mim, but make sure that the two lips are not totally locked, and make sure that you effect the ghunna sound before you go to the ba. And how do you do that? By taking your time a bit on the nun sakina before the ba, like the example I've given. Min ba'di ma ja'atuhumul bayyina, for instance. Min ba'di, look at the shape of the mouth. Not min ba'di, no. Min ba'di ma ja'atuhumul bayyina. So that is that on iqlab. Now we are left with 15 letters. You know, we have 28 letters in Arabic, 6 for idhar, 6 for al-idgham, 1 for al-iqlab. Then the remaining letters are for the fourth rule, which is al-ikhfa. Al-ikhfa. Al-ikhfa means concealment, literally. Hiding something. When you conceal something, you hide it. You do not want it to be seen. That's al-ikhfa. Here, what are we hiding? We are hiding the nun sakina. How do we do that? We do not pronounce it like we do when we are observing idhar, which is manifestation. Now I mentioned under idhar that you just pronounce it the way that nun is written. Min whom. Min. That nun sakina is pronounced like that. But in idhar, we just try to hide it in a way. So the only thing that will be observed is the ghunna, which is the property, one of the properties of nun. The ghunna will still be there, but we will not pronounce it as min. We will not say min. For instance, one of the letters of al-ikhfa is letter kaf. In the Quran, we have the words minka or minkum, as the case may be. So many examples in the Quran. Kaf being a letter of al-ikhfa, when you want to pronounce it, for it to have come after nun sakina, you don't say minka. When you say minka, that is idhar. You are manifesting the nun, and that is wrong. So what you do is minka, is like you are sharing the properties of that nun into two. You are leaving half and you are pronouncing half. You can still hear the sound. That is the ghunna. You are retaining that. But yet you are not pronouncing it the way you have pronounced it ordinarily. It is not minka. Minka sounds differently from minka or minkum. وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنكُمْ. Not minkum. kum. It is not min kum. Min kum. You take your time a little bit so that the gunna sound will come naturally. So the gunna sound will come naturally. Now let us look at some other examples of this letter, or of this rule, that is al-ikhfa. I mentioned that there are 15 letters. All other letters of Arabic language, when you subtract the ones for idhar, the ones for idgham, and the one for al-iqlab, all others are for al-ikhfa. That means letter tha is for ikhfa, jim is for ikhfa, dal is for ikhfa, dhal is for ikhfa, za is for ikhfa, sin is for ikhfa, shin is for ikhfa, sad is for ikhfa, dad is for ikhfa, ta is for ikhfa, dha is for ikhfa, then fa is for ikhfa, qaf is for ikhfa, kaf is for ikhfa. So these are the letters of al-ikhfa. Let us look at Surah Al-Falaq. For instance, we have so many examples of al-ikhfa in that surah. Allah says, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ مِنْ شَرِّ. We have shin after the nun sakina. You don't say min sharri ma khalaqa. No, don't be in a haste. You take your time a bit on the nun so that the gunna sound will come naturally. Min, and you don't say min. Don't pronounce the ni sound and now stay on it, expecting the gunna. That will not be gunna again. Because, of course, you can have the gunna sound, but you are not doing ikhfa. Going back to the meaning of ikhfa, it means hiding. So you are not hiding anything. You are manifesting it. You are only adding to the properties. So you have to hide it if you must do ikhfa, because ikhfa means hiding. It means concealment. So you conceal it, but not totally. So min sharri ma khalaqa. Min sharri ma khalaqa. Wa min sharri ghasiqin idha waqabah. ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد من شر. Then we have other examples in the Quran like من قبل هدى للناس وأنزل الفرقان in the Quran. So how do you recite that verse? من قبل. Now one thing is this. The letter of ikhfa that comes after the nun sakina will determine how you position your mouth while doing the ikhfa. So the way you position your mouth when you are observing ikhfa for kaf will be different from the way you put your mouth when you are pronouncing qaf, for instance. So for kaf, I said minka. But for qaf, you say min qablu, not min qablu, as we are pronouncing for kaf. But qaf is in front of kaf in the articulation in articulation point. So qaf is in front, then immediately followed by kaf. So the way you set your mouth, you position your mouth, will be determined by the letter you are pronouncing and you are applying ikhfa for. So minka, min qablu. So you have to be very careful, and constant practice will assist us in mastering the correct pronunciation of all these letters. So also, let us say ta now. It's also a letter of ikhfa. Min tahtihim, min ta, not min tahtihim, as if we are pronouncing qaf. It is not min ta. When you say min, and I see that, I listen to that, what I expect you to pronounce next will be qaf, because it is qaf. That is when you position your mouth in that manner. Qaf. Min qa. I'll be expecting qaf. But when you say min, and I say tahti, so that will be a mistake. So it is not min tahti. It is min ta, min tahti, minka, 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 min qabl. So that is al-ikhfa. It means concealment. You are hiding it. So you are hiding the properties. So that is the fourth rule of Nono Sakina and Tenwin. And with that, we have come to the end of the rules guiding the recitation of Nono Sakina and Tenwin. For further inquiries and questions, please send them to africa@mta.tv. Hoping to meet you in our next episode. I say wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.